by Andrew Benson. Chief F1 writer share this with Red Bull's Max Verstappen says he will drive with greater restraint after his controversial Chinese Grand Prix. The Dutchman crashed into Ferrari's Sebastian Vettel and ran off track trying to overtake Lewis Hamilton, throwing away his chance in a race he could have won. "You learn from your mistakes," Verstappen said. "It doesn't mean drive slow. It means drive faster but maybe a little more in control." He added, "It is the wrong attitude to slow yourself down. I am not here to fill up the field." Verstappen's errors meant he ended up finishing fifth in the race, despite being ahead of his teammate Daniel Ricciardo, the eventual winner, when both made their decisive pit stops to change to new tires during a safety car period. The 20-year-old's father Jos, a former F1 driver, said he was disappointed and that his son had made an error of judgment in trying to pass Vettel. Max Verstappen said, "It is normal what he said. He is the harshest critic of everyone. I am happy to listen." Verstappen said he had since talked to his father and to Red Bull Motorsport chief Helmut Marko, also a former F1 driver, but added, "I also have to look at myself. I was able to look at the positives. In general, the whole season pace-wise I have been good but the results have not been there yet, but there have been only 3 races so far and 18 to go." On his decision to apologize to Vettel straight after the race, Verstappen said, "It doesn't happen often but sometimes it needs to be done." He added that the last time he had apologized to a driver was to Ricciardo after they clashed in last year's Hungarian Grand Prix, also as a result of Verstappen misjudging an overtaking move. Verstappen said he did not think his attempt to pass Hamilton around the outside of Turn 7, a few laps before this clash with Vettel, had been over-optimistic. "It was a fair chance," Verstappen said, "and what Lewis did I would have done the same. He just ran me a bit more wide. I went a bit more on the marbles, the slippery part of the track off the racing line, and it is easy to lose the car. It was fair racing. I knew he was not flat out in that corner and I was. It didn't work out but it was a good try." Share this with